Welcome to the Worshipped Woman podcast. I am your host, Kristin. I am a life and relationship coach, deep healing facilitator, and subconscious change expert. On this podcast, we will dive deep into personal growth, transformation, and relationships, releasing patterns of toxicity, codependency, and people-pleasing as we explore what it means to be the worshipped woman. If you are ready to heal, embody your worth, and raise your standards in life and love, you are in the right place. I am so happy to have you here. Now, let's get started. Hello, sisters. Welcome to the very first episode of the Worshipped Woman podcast. I am so excited. So if you've been hanging out with me for a while, you are obviously realizing that this was very recently the Woman Unleashed podcast. And today I really want to explain to you, first of all, what it means to be the worshipped woman, the direction that we are going to be moving together, and really what brought about this next evolution. So the first thing I want to say is, well, if you've been following me for a while, you know I am never afraid to shift, to grow, to evolve. It is literally what I preach to you all of the time, and it is what I do in my own life. I am here for the growth. I'm here for the shifting. I am here for the transformation. I am here for all of it. So at the core of this transformation is the idea of becoming the worshipped woman. And I'm literally going to read you the definition of worship. Worship means to feel or express reverence and adoration for a deity, which is, a god, goddess. So to me, worship, the worshipped woman, is a woman who worships herself. You see, because the energy that we give off in life, the energy that we show up with in our life, is what our reality is going to reflect. And so I have been on this journey with myself to love myself, to accept myself. And as I go deeper and deeper into these layers of self-love, self-acceptance, I realized that I wanted to go beyond that. And beyond self-love is self-worship. It literally means seeing yourself as goddess, seeing yourself as your true self, right? Your spiritual, magnificent soul, and having the reverence. And I want you to think about the power of these words: reverence, adoration, having so much self-honor, having so much self-respect that you walk around in that energy of the worshipped woman. And what do you get from that energy? Well, you get the world reflecting your own self-worship. You get treated better. You become more aligned in love. You become a woman who knows and embodies her worth so fully, because she who worships herself must be worshipped. When you are the worshipped woman, you cannot be around anybody who is not willing to give you the same respect, reverence, and honor that you give yourself. That is the worshipped woman. And I'm coming to you with this podcast saying, I do not fully live in worship woman consciousness. I try to. It is what I am striving towards. And this is a journey that I want us all to take together as we explore further and further ourselves, deeper layers of consciousness, deeper layers of what it means to actually worship ourselves through all aspects of ourselves and our lives. And This idea was sparked by my own journey, but also by my clients. I work with a lot of women in the aftermath of toxic relationships and coming to a place of self-acceptance with that. And I always say this, self-acceptance leads to self-love. And I just couldn't stop there anymore, because what is it that we want? Yes, we want to be loved, we want to be seen, but on a deeper sense, we actually want to be worshiped, and not worshiped in the way that, oh, you're so much better than me. Worshiped in a way that you are respected, you are revered, you are adored. This is what the majority of the women that I work with want from their relationships, want from their life, right? But most of the time, we're caught up in patterns of toxicity, patterns of codependency, patterns of people-pleasing, patterns of living our life for everybody else, doing for others before we ever touch and do for ourselves. And it's time to let that go now. And that is what the worshiped woman is. Becoming the worshiped woman will require you to put yourself first. It will require you to step into this way of being where you are honored and respected, and you give to yourself before you give to others. And this is hard for so many of you out there, because for so long you have been conditioned to prove your worth, conditioned to do for others, and somehow think that that makes you righteous or a good person, while leaving yourself empty and then wondering why you are so unhappy in your life. You are an example. How you treat yourself is the example for how you give other people permission to treat you. And this is why worshiping yourself, honoring yourself, respecting yourself, adoring yourself is so important. If you want to improve your relationships, you have to improve the relationship with yourself. If you want to improve any aspect of your life, you have to first improve that aspect within yourself. So, of course, we are going to be exploring deeper into all of these concepts. I will still be doing the AKA episodes, Ask Kelly Anything. You can catch me on my Instagram, Miss MS Kelly Kristin, for that. You can also find me at Worshipped Woman on Instagram as well for the podcast. And I really want it to be clear that this is not an unattainable thing. This is not something that is saved for a small amount of women and that you have to look a certain way or do a certain something. It is a state of being that you can step into. And of course, there are actionable things that must be done. But the question I want to pose to you today is, if you were worshiping yourself, again, seeing yourself as goddess, adoring yourself, revering yourself, respecting yourself, what would you be doing in your life? And are you currently doing that? Is your relationship currently reflecting that? There might be a lot of patterns that need to break in your life. You might have to let a lot of things go to step into this. And that is all part of the journey. And it's called a journey for a reason. It's not called an overnight. It's not called a do these 5 things and it happens. It's a journey to be the woman that you want to be, to live the life that you want to live. And it happens when you choose, when you act, when you be. This is transformation. You must decide that you are the personal authority of your life. You get to decide how life goes for you. You get to decide how your relationships get to be for you. And if you're not being worshipped in your current relationship, well, it just means that you've got some work to do. Because what I know for sure is that we are not here to tolerate life and to barely get by. We are actually programmed for happiness and joy. Your nervous system actually has way more receptors and things going on for pleasure than it does for pain. But way too many of us are living in pain instead of the pleasure. Way too many of us are tolerating our lives instead of creating. Way too many of us are expecting other people to treat us in a way that we are not treating ourselves. And that's what this journey is about. Treating yourself how you want to be treated. Showing up for yourself how you want life to show up for you. I'm so happy that you are here on this journey with me. If you are excited about this, please take a screenshot. Let me know that you're listening. Tag me on IG stories. I love, love, love to hear from you guys. And if you would love to leave a rating and review for this podcast, I would be so grateful. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you soon.